Listen, I don't know about you, but I started a business so I could do this. Travel, be with friends, be with family, create memories. I didn't do it to sit at the computer all day. I didn't do it so that I could just be in countless emails and Zoom meetings. I did it to create opportunities for myself and opportunities for others. So listen, if that's something that interests you, enjoying time with your friends, being out and about, definitely drop by Erica Williams' Classy Climb blog. Check out the YouTube channel. We've got over 2,000 videos of free information that's actually changed people's lives. People actually post their new jobs, their new careers, their new businesses all the time over at the channel. What's up, everybody? This is your girl, Erica, Classic Climb blog. You're probably going to see this while I'm working with my personal trainer, while I'm at the gym. But I wanted to share this with you. A lot of people are hurting, right? There's a lot of economic pain. There's a wealth transfer. And I think you're getting into an echo chamber recently, more so, where people are just complaining. And kind of what's happening is a limiting of the next generation. And it's only because it's still water. Now, let me kind of unwind that. When people are in motion, when people are flowing, when people are productive, hey, they see all kind of stuff. They see all type of people. They're traveling. They see opportunities. When people are still, when people are get comfortable, this is where we have this kind of stagnation, this ickiness of like, yeah, the America's getting bad. It's getting worse. The eggs, the everything, the neighborhoods are bad. And what I'm seeing is a lot of Americans are always talking about traveling or leaving America, going somewhere else. And there's this increase of people buying passports and visas to go overseas. And I really want you to understand it. Like anything that you don't pour into will stagnate. That's your personal life, your everyday, everything, right? I'm gonna show this chart. I'm gonna show this whiteboard, and then I'm gonna go over to a few clips because I want you to understand there's like massive abundance in America. But right now, many people are hearing economic pain. And I want to address a lot of those. I have a couple different clips I want to address so you can see what I'm talking about. But there's money and there's opportunity and there's growth in this economy. It just depends on where you're at. So let me go ahead and do this. And one of the biggest things, I would always want to tell people this, if, some of the biggest things is people love to complain and pick apart things. One of the most fastest growing businesses you're probably going to see in the next 2 to 5 years is going to be mold. People finding molds. They got mold smithing dogs. They've got people finding decay, right? And that's because people like to point out a thing, right? Inspector jobs and appraiser jobs are going to go through the roof the next couple of years because we'll be trying to assess the damage. I did a thing the other day when I was in Houston, Texas, talking about deferred maintenance. And I was riding in my car with my friend and we're going to Houston Rodeo. And again, this was like really the other day, but 2 days ago. But we're in Houston and I'm looking at all these buildings that have cracks and damages and stuff that could be painted. And I just call it deferred maintenance, which that's what it is. And they're going to want to sell these buildings at the highest bidder with all this deferred maintenance. And that's what we have in society. A lot of people have deferred maintenance and they're trying to get the highest bid on their deferred maintenance project. Only you care about your deferred maintenance project. Only you care about the outcomes of your project. Okay. So hopefully this is big enough on the screen for you guys to see. And I love the whiteboard stuff. And one side of this chart is called the breakdown, right? One side of the mountain, we're going downhill, right? The other side of the mountain, we're going up. So we're going to start on the decline. We're going to start on the left-hand side of this chart. And we're going to start with, party, buy trucks, buy cars, vacations, bad diets, no vitamins, shortcuts. Then we hit this 35 to 55. Some people keep doing this. They don't stop, right? Something kicks in where people are working till they die. Somewhere in this, you see all these videos. I'm 45 with no money. I'm tired. I'm exhausted. I'm 55 with no friends. I'm 50 with this. Or they're already telling you how they basically cashing in the check. They're done. They're gonna do this hamster wheel dance till they die. So working till they die, debt, divorces, sad videos on the internet, right? Somewhere along the line, they pick up a kid or two, then complain about that as well. Now, then they get to the bottom of this triangle. They are looking to run away. They're broken down. They're talking about how early they can get disability. Man, I hope I can get that disability soon. And you're just like, wow. Like you may live another 20 years at 62. depending on how you took care of your body, right? And so to try to just give up is insane to me. But this is something I'm seeing a lot of where there's a few people I'm going to show clips, and you guys are going to think I'm picking on them, and I'm really not picking on them. I just want you to understand that, like, when you don't invest in the future, right? Or you have a midlife crisis, what I'm seeing a lot of people are midlife, I'm going to run away from home. The same home that you left will still be there. Okay, let me say that again. The same home you left will be there. The same bills, the same things. I have cousins who are overseas, and they still send money for their grandkids to go to play in sports and go to tutoring and do activities. And you'll see grown people who are like, "Well, I'm going to go overseas," and you start asking them about their kids, their adult kids. If you are in a family where you had a career, a pension, a house, and your adult kids don't have any of that, they don't have a career. They ain't looking to get a career. They're not going to community college. They're not improving themselves. They don't have a house. You kind of failed the middle class ladder. You basically failed. Somewhere in there should be an investment or encouragement for your kids to move to better cities, get better jobs, try better things. And what I've realized is that would require you rocking the boat and actually giving a crap. That's what that would require. Okay. Now, what goes along on this side where they're just partying till they run it down, right? Wholesale, consolidation, and Dave Ramsey. That's the future of that side. The future of them is going to have to sell those trucks, sell those cars, sell those houses, sell inherited land, sell their stuff so they can get some money. Consolidation, they're going to be trying to get debt consolidation. They're going to be filing for bankruptcy. So consolidation lawyers and companies are going to make a lot of money. Dave Ramsey will forever make a ton of money when people are like, oh, I'm 35 now and I don't have any money. I don't have any money saved. What am I to do? Now they watch Dave Ramsey and they can reset. This is the level it starts right here. They can reset here if they wanted to. They could. They could reset. Now, not to bore you. Now, I'm going to give you the positive side, right? I'm going to give you the positive side. I'm not going to make this a total negative video because I'm going to have some very beautiful things to show, which actually, you know what? No, I'm going to show you some negative, and then I'm going to show them back, and we're going to show the positive side, the right side of that triangle, and all the beautiful opportunities they are here in America, because I think it's important. Yes, our eggs expensive. Yes, our things expensive. A lot of stuff we're dealing with is consequences of what actions, consequences of years of not deciding to care about money. You don't wake up at 55 in America right now and say, oh, Erica's always been expensive. Dude, you lived through the Bill Clinton years. You lived through the early 2000s. Houses were 50, 68, 50, 60, $80,000 in some of these places I'm from in North Carolina. No, you're not. I'm not going to let you play me for the, I just didn't know. I didn't buy a house. I didn't. No, you goofed off on purpose. You skated by, you coasted. The more you coast as a young person, I promise you, later in life gets really hard unless you have a family that you're inheriting wealth from or you have a certain skill set. Just point blank period. So let's go over here real quick. And again, you're going to say, Erica, don't be picking. I'm not picking, but I'm just using it as an example. I want you guys to understand what's really occurring out here for the older folks, right? Here we go. And again, this is a preface. This man essentially married forever, divorced, moved to the Philippines, was over there less than a year. Young lady married him, got knocked up. He brought the lady to the United States to meet his family. She ran off, applied for emergency visa, never returned to the Philippines. He went back to the Philippines again, got another young lady, and now he's home. Why is he home? Because everybody knows you need credit cards, right? You need money to keep in your pension checks coming to the right address, right bank, to keep all your stuff flowing while you live overseas. And if you don't have that, or you need to do a couple months home, what are you coming home to? Are you coming home to your own house or rental properties, investments? No. If you're just coming home to live at your kid's house, how are you investing in their life? How are you spending the next several months invested in your actual American family's life is important, because that's what they're going to remember. They're going to remember, yeah, my grandpa came in, stayed for 6 months, and then he was going back over to the Philippines to go basically play out and live on the island. And this is why people are always really harsh on boomers. And it is what it is, right? Later today, we have a really great show because I want to talk about how you can change your life and turn things around. But right now. Drop your city and state in the chat. Help your girl out. I know it's lunch break time. I just want to do this video quickly though.
So thank y'all so much for stopping by. Join me later on my live stream. We're going to talk about the pushy. And in the Philippines has the most expensive pushy in the world. That's going to be interesting, guys, okay? I don't think people understand when they go over there. Men don't understand what they're agreeing to. You know, we talk about the unspoken agreement, but men don't really understand what they agree to. It used to be as simple as, I'm going to take care of you and you take care of me, but they don't understand that you take care of me, man, it entails a whole lot, okay, as in everything. And so when people talk about, hey, can I live over on $1,000 a month? I'm going to tell you, probably not, because that $1,000 a month is going to have to pay for any emergencies that come up, whether it's with you or with her or her family. If her mother goes in the hospital, they're looking to you to pay. If the father dies, they're looking for you to pay for the funeral, the tuition, all of that, guys. Did you know that? I don't think you do. Just make sure you got enough money. All right? And the only way you're going to know is to get over there and try. But I'm telling you that it's more than just paying the bills. Most Filipinos and Filipinos, they have universal health care over there. But guess what? A large percentage of them do not have access to quality health care. They're covered, but they just can't get to the doctor. So many are outside of the 30-minute time period that.
All right. I'm gonna scoot this along a little bit, and I just want you to understand, this is not me picking. I know that I already know I'm going to get that pushback from a lot of you, and that's okay. I don't care. You know, these are just examples. This is just an example of a larger problem that people are being advertised. You can go live in Panama, you can go live in Colombia, you can go live overseas. You're only going to pay $1,000. You can live. Ask the Tate brothers. You can go live in Eastern Europe, and girls are going to want to be around you. Listen, the culture, no matter where you go outside of America, is if my young daughter is dating you and you're in your 40s, 50s, 60s, you are paying for everything. You are taking a very masculine male role in any foreign wife's life. There's a running joke that you don't see pregnant Asian women. And it's because in their culture, they don't work while they're pregnant. Now, you may see one or two. You may say, Erica, I know a nurse. I know an Asian family. I know an Asian person. Listen, I know a ton of Asian families. I'm from a military background. And the wives literally were like, well, in my country, I don't work. What are you talking about? When I'm pregnant, I sit down and I rest. You know, they fly their mothers in. Their mothers are helping cook and clean and feed them because that is cultural. You are not going to anybody's country to date their 20, 30-something-year-old daughter, and they're like, cool, you're 50-something, cool, you take care of her. No, that means you're breaking off the whole family. And this isn't just in the Asian countries. This is also in Africa. Go watch. There's a ton of African passport bro channels. They're getting over there and they're realizing, I don't have enough money to live this lifestyle. I'm expected to show up. And if you're going to be expected to show up, you could do that here in America. You can show up for your grandkids. You can show up for your adult kids. You can show up in your own personal life. But the problem is most Americans, and we're going to go there for a second, they don't have hobbies. They don't do things they love. They don't travel. And they blame it all on money. They're going to go to a foreign country and go, well, see, I get massages and eat out. And then you start asking them, what other hobbies do you have? They aren't snorkeling when they're over there. They ain't going fishing. They ain't doing community activities. They ain't even going to church. They're literally living a very, can I afford to eat out $2 tacos and live in a $200 apartment? That's the pinnacle of their life. Is there a beach? I'm going to sit on it. Is there some tacos? Great. Can I pay $2 for it? Great. That's the pinnacle, right? This over the top kind of I'm not doing anything life is this fake American dream. It's not the dream, y'all. All right. I'm going to post for the next 90 days or so. I'm going to post pictures of me at my horseback riding classes and stuff. I'm going to post pictures of me when I'm at my tennis and golf stuff. I'm going to post some really cool hobby pictures. Why? Because when people say, well, what's the point of money? What's the point of living? Like America doesn't have anything to do. There's nothing to, that's a lack of creativity. And that's a lack of choice. You've chosen to not enjoy America, or you've chosen to live in a poor, rundown area and say there's nothing here. It's all the same. Oh, I can't wait to leave America. Every time I meet a Black person online that's yelling about how bad America is, you ask them where they're from. First thing out their mouth is Memphis, some bad part of Chicago, some bad part of New York, New Jersey, and somewhere unnice in California. They're never living anywhere well-to-do. They never have a skill. They never are like a pharmacist, a doctor, a lawyer. They're always somebody who was working in food service, or they were a janitor, or they were a truck driver, and they work for a year, then they escape for a year, and they come back and do it over and over again. There's no true deep thought of elevation into this. Let me play a little bit more. I know y'all like it. Dang, Erica. just want to go there for a second.
On your shoulders when you start getting in these relationships over in the Philippines. And this is the reason a lot of guys go broke. They really don't understand what it all entails, what it all includes. It includes a lot, guys. I'm just trying to educate you as much as I can. I don't know everything, but I'm going to give you what I got. It's very, very expensive. It's more expensive than what you think. It's because we don't understand what everything means. Everything means everything. Okay, all that good loving and all that attention and everything, tune-ups and all that stuff, it comes with a steep price, man. Okay? So if you're in America, if you're in the Philippines, wherever you are, find your heart to help somebody. Not the day goes by that I don't help somebody. Because if I don't know anything else, I know this one thing for sure. We help other people. We help ourselves. Take care. Stay safe. Stay out of trouble. I'll see you next time. Don't.
All right. And so you can watch more parts of the video where he's talking about he's walking in the hood. He's visiting his family. And they're, basically people are doing the same thing. That's true anywhere. You go home to any of these countries. You go to any Memphis, any North Carolina, any South Carolina, they're doing the same thing. This is why I tell you all the time, if I want to go back to my hometown and I go, hey, you guys, oh my God, I have a assisted living facility building we bought and we're building. Can you come check in on once a week? Oh my God, yes, I would. I would love to. Right? Like, would you like to, I got a cousin that would do janitorial stuff. Would you like to be on payroll? I can get you come in and do a deep clean once a month or something. People are going to be doing the same thing. Unless you have some type of tipping scale, some type of leverage to help your family, some type of push over the top decision making, some type of something that involves the rest of the family. A lot of people are not encouraging their kids to do anything different, not encouraging them to get careers. And then they wake up and they can't understand, right? Or they're just been zombied out for a few years and now they're in adulthood and something happens and they have to wake back up and go, oh my God, what are my kids going to do here? Oh no, unless you are trying to expand, right? And I already know what the pushback is going to be. Erica, everybody's not responsible. I'm not responsible for my adult kids. I raised them. They better go figure it out themselves. I'm not responsible for this. And I just go, this is why other communities and just people in general can go, all right, well, what do you want me to help you do if you won't even help your own family? If you don't have a vision for what your family's supposed to do, why'd you even have kids? Right? I mean, your kids aren't instruments to just do what you want them to do, but there should be some type of long-term planning or vision. If you come home just to get new credit cards or re-up on some credit cards so you can go back over to the Philippines and take care of somebody else's family, what's the vision for your family? You're sitting here with 8, 9, 10 grandkids. What's the vision for them? What's the future for them? You guys got really, I mean, this is serious questions. I'm gonna show this now. Many of you sent me this, and I understand. I'm gonna go over it. I see it. Y'all keep sending it to me. I hear you. I see you. Let me see if I can find it. All right. So this is where we start seeing people have mental health issues that along the way should have been taken care of, or certain type of medicine should have been applied. And so y'all sent me this. Yes, this is Dawn from In Vogue, who is homeless technically, right? I don't think she's fully homeless. I think at any moment she'd go stay with her mom. She'd go stay with family. She could go stay with friends. She could go stay anywhere. But there is some mental health issues there. So let's play this, and y'all can stop sending it to me now. Go back here.
Very angry. And a lot of her anger she was taking out on me, and I was her target all the time. And I was like, I can't deal with this. Like, I respect her too much. I didn't understand it. I still don't. And it hurt me. So I was just trying to figure it out, but I couldn't. You can't read someone else's mind. You can't figure them out. They got to figure themselves out. So I was like, let me get out of here. You guys, for the past almost 3 years, I have been living in my car. I said it. Oh my God, it's out. I've been living in my car. Oh my gosh. If you remember, if you guys were with me, in 2020, I did like 105,000 interviews. And in the interim, I was living with my parents in Vegas. And that was wonderful until it wasn't. I love my mom, but she became very angry.
All right, hold on.
And I was sleeping in my car for maybe about a month in Vegas. And then the guy that was co-managing me at the time was living in LA. And he said, you need to come back to LA because it's getting ready to be fire in Vegas. You need to come back. I love LA. So I said, okay. He said that I could stay with him. I was like, okay, but you have a dog. I have a dog. Do we have, and he's like, I don't have a lot of room, but I'll make room for you. And then when I got to his place, he actually didn't have room for me. It turned into, okay, well, I'm going to put you in a hotel for the night. And that one night turned into 8 months. Oh my God, you guys. I was like, no, this is unacceptable, because every apartment that I looked at, every single time I looked at a place, I would call him and I'm like, okay, can you meet me here? I would tell him ahead of time, of course. And then he wouldn't meet me there until I would take video and send it to him. He's like, no, oh my God, this neighborhood, I hate it. I'm like, dude, I'm the one who has to live here. And it's way cheaper than the hotel. Sometimes I think, you guys, people want to trap you and keep you in a situation where you're vulnerable and depending on them. And I wasn't the one. And I was sleeping in my car for maybe about a month in Vegas. And then I told my assistant one day, I have been researching car life. There's a whole community of people that live in their cars, and a whole community of people that live in their RVs, and a whole community of people that live in vans. And I loved what I was seeing. I just thought, wow, these people, I can do that. I could do this. I ended up in my car, and it's been, like I said, 3 years. March 9th. 2022 is when I left the hotel. I didn't regret anything. I was just scared that night. That first night was scary. But then as I got to know what to do in my car and how to do it, like, I felt free. That was a sense of freedom that I had. I was so free. I felt like, wow, this is so different. I felt like I was on a camping trip. I just felt like it was the right thing to do. I didn't regret it. Guys, this is not, if you would have said to me while I was in Vogue, you're going to be living in your car one day, I'd be like, huh? No, I'm always going to have an apartment. I can't live in my car. We say that we can't do certain things before you even know we're capable. Lisa keeps telling me, when the fans hear that you're living in your car, they're going to be so proud of you, because I am documenting this whole adventure. It's an adventure, you guys. It's a journey. Just so you guys know, I have a gym membership and I shower there. I'm a funky diva, but I'm not funky. When I succeed again, because I will, when I have a resurgence of my career again, the way that I want, getting to that point is only up to me. So from here, from my car into that life is going to be amazing. I see it in my mind. I have known. Sometimes when before I go to sleep, I visualize seeing myself like, oh my God, #1 documentary, whoever I sell it to, I don't know, Netflix, because people have to see what this is like. Would I have an apartment right now if I had a choice? I would. I'm not going to lie. But am I glad that I did this? Absolutely. Proud of what I've accomplished out here. If you would have said to me,
okay, this is unfortunate and it's sad. There's no reason for that. Even the manager who's paying for her to be in hotels, right? That situation, Something about that sounds off to me. But clearly there's some mental health issues there. A lot of people have reported when she was in Lucy Pearl, several different groups that she had, mental health issues. Now, my problem is we see when people go out on the road touring, your manager should be pitching for you to go out on the road with them. Hey, can she do an opening act? Can she sell a few CDs? Can she do A, B, and C? And I think right now, if you're a sharp artist, a smart artist, even Angie Stone was touring. Like when she did get in the car accident, she died. She was touring. The future of any singer is touring. You're going to be touring. And for me, if she spent the past 3 years in the car, she could have spent the past 3 years touring, traveling from city to city, doing small venues, big venues, whatever. Right. If mental illness is not, hey, let's just put her on some medication and put her in an apartment, right? Because at some point here in this journey, she could be doing a million different things. Oh. And the fact that she was in both for all those years and didn't have some type of house, even a small house, right? I've seen a lot of shows with artists and they'll have like some like small little rinky-dink house, not right in LA, but in the suburbs or whatever, right? And that's the house they always fall back to. I don't understand why she never had a house. Do you see what I'm saying? But there's clearly some mental health issues there. And you're going to see more stories like this. You're going to see more adults as the tide goes out or they're getting older. People are going to start blaming, well, ageism, Erica. It's the ageism. That's why people don't have a job, or these companies aren't hiring because of ageism, Erica. And I know that's what you guys are going to come with. But she's a singer. She can sing at a church and they'll pay her a monthly stipend. I mean, I'm not even being funny. Like there are churches that pay the musician staff, and there's a ton of churches that pay the musician staff to just stay on board and sing every Sunday for a few hours and you practice, right? That's what that is. So again, is there economic pain out here in the marketplace? Yes. I want you to understand. I understand the countless videos you guys send me on people with no eggs and no food. And like, I'm not downplaying the problems out here in society. Like I do definitely see all the videos you guys send me, but I just want you also to recognize that people have played a hand in their situation. I don't want y'all ever to be like, well, not like people have played a hand in their situation. This is one. I like this girl's channel. Y'all sent it to me. It's really good. Let me see. There's one, and this is, please go to her channel. Please support her channel. I saw this and y'all sent this to me and I said, man, here we go with this. I'm not gonna play the whole thing. I'm just gonna play a snippet. But again, I get it. There is economic pain. I'm not ignoring that. I just want you to understand, like, let's take a step back and examine. Every time we hear a story, are we willing to examine? Because a lot of people say, just give empathy, Erica. Be empathetic, And I hear you, but we do also have to ask questions, because what type of society? This is where we have that left-right brain paradigm, right? Part of our brain just wants to give them housing and give them food and give them something to just take a moment and think and restructure their life. And it's like, we're robbing them of the opportunity to think. We're robbing them of the opportunity to restructure their life, to decide, okay, I don't like this anymore. I'm going to do what? She could work at a hospital. She could be an orderly. She could draw blood. She could do anything. But again, these are all choices. So I'm going to play this snippet. This is Social Simone. Please, fair use. Go check out her channel. I don't want y'all thinking I'm not crediting people for their stuff and their talent. So here we go.
I am 59 years old, and I'm sure there'll be people, because, red hat people, you're going to say, oh, you ugly old woman, blah, blah, blah. Yeah, I've lived 59 years. I worked my ass off as a district manager in restaurants, been a realtor, own a small business, and I can't see myself making it 2 more years without not having my house anymore and any money to survive. I am scared to death. I have no pension, no 401k. I have nothing. And when I get on Social Security, which maybe if it's still there in a few years, it's not even enough to pay my mortgage payment, let alone buy food or electricity or anything else there is, right? I'm 59 and a half years old.
I think this is a lot of people's.
Okay, pause. Here's my problem. Immediately. District manager of regional restaurants, they would have had a 401k program. That's some of the first things these restaurants and companies do as they get bigger, is try to become more able to sell, go private equity. You know, you would have had a 401k. You would have had a 401k option. Realtor, own my own business. Okay. A lot of realtors I hear say, well, I'm self-employed. That's the point of me doing it this way, because I'm self-employed. And I get that. I got my real estate license. I only used it for a year. And I was like, oh no, this is me chasing people. No, people come to me. It's the wrong way. This is going out of balance, right? Let me go there. 59 years old and worried about what internet people think about how you look is already flag one for me. Like, when I meet women who are still very obsessed about their looks into their 40s and 50s, no disrespect. You need to look well. You need to take care of your body. You need to dress the best you can. You do need to put on lipstick. You do need to try to fix yourself up, honey. Do what you got to do. I understand that. But comes a time and age where you're still talking about your looks or how you look. That is the default, unfortunately, of our society. We've trained a lot of women to care about what they look like, and there's nothing up here. There's no money. There's no nothing. And the whole looks thing is just to attract somebody in. It's not going to keep them. You got to actually have a personality and some stuff going on. What is a personality? Equals your personal reality. Let that sit. I didn't say it perfect, but already I'm very. If you're 59, that means people are trying to make it to 62 to get the Social Security. That means she has 60, 61, 62. If Social Security, which is at most $2,000, sometimes a little bit more, at minimum $600 a month. That's what we usually end up. $600 a month is what you see homeless, transients, variant people that didn't put a lot of money into Social Security. That's what you see them getting. Dr. Dix talks a lot about. You can see how much you're going to get monthly by checking on your Social Security information. So let's say she gets the most. Let's say she gets $2,000 a month from Social Security, and that won't cover her mortgage. She's in too much house. At 59 by herself, she's in too much house. I know you don't want to hear that, but to me, people thinking a hard stop is, oh, once I get Social Security, I'm not working anymore to pay for stuff. No, you're paying for your own mortgage. Like, you'll always have to pay for rent for somewhere. So 9 times out of 10, when people tell me they can't afford their mortgage with their Social Security, well, how did you get the house? What was the first career that got you in the house? What was the income you were making? Go back to that, right? But this is a life of, stuff happens to people. We're going to say, Erica, give people a break. Divorces, kids, life happens. Historically, and the data still shows, women, if they don't get themselves together in them 40s and 50s, on the way going out, the kids getting older, they will have a poor long-term life. And that's because they're helping grandkids, they're helping kids, they're helping all kind of people. Your parents should have a house that they can afford, that they can pay, that they can fight the property taxes. They should have a house. They shouldn't have 30-year mortgage on a new house. If you're talking to your parents and they're talking about retiring, even if they wanted to retire, there should be something your parents should be able to do at 59 to 70 if they need to make income. Accounting. I have a friend whose father owned an accounting firm for a bunch of years, closed it down for 2 years, retired, went over to North Carolina to help take care of their daughter. She had like seizures and she had little kids. So her husband was military. So they were there with her for almost 2.5 years. And he's like, yeah, I'm kind of wanting to go back to work now. And I'm kind of want to open another office, even if I don't do it as big as I did before, just a small office to stay consistent. I have an aunt who used to work for IRS, and now she's in her second retirement, government retirement, and another company's retirement. And she's like, I'm kind of bored. I've retired, but I'm bored. So she does taxes. She'll do taxes for X amount of people, bring in an extra 20, 30K a year from just doing a certain amount of people's taxes. And that's it. She doesn't want to do any more. She doesn't want to have an office. She doesn't want to do anything big. Just enough. Right? Because she already has a house. She bought a house in the freaking 80s or early 90s for $40,000. And it's a 3-bedroom, 2-bath, huge long ranch style, almost an acre lot. You should have a paid off house. If you don't have a paid off house, again, you should be able to have it with mortgages in a process of being paid off the next 10 years. We have to redefine what retirement looks like. People are saying they're going to be retired just because they're tired. That's not how that works. We don't just say, I'm tired, so now I'm done, I'm not going to work anymore. Yeah, that's not how that works. It's just not, unfortunately. Let me see if I can get to the part where I saw. I can't remember. Let me see. Hold on.
Fear, but it's in years of busting work. And is right. You know, you're not gonna get social or for that. Maybe through stuff like this done. Say these statements like, I could never save and everything's so expensive. They've been expensive for the last 20 years where you couldn't put nothing aside. The last 30 years, you couldn't put nothing aside. And I'm not saying that I don't think people had priorities that they would have rather tended to during their last 30 years. Because 30 years ago, she was 29, 30 years ago. Only a few years younger than what I'm at right now.
Yeah.
So she's essentially saying that for the last even 30 years, everything has been extremely expensive and too high. So my whole generation, that's like saying people like me, my age, can't save. And I do. There are people in their 30s, in their 20s who do save because, quite frankly, we don't got no choice, especially if you ain't got no kid. Like some people got kids and they like, oh, my kid's gonna help me out, blah, blah, blah. That's the plan for a lot of people. But a lot of us out here, we don't even got no children. So we didn't have no choice but to save, no matter if stuff was quote unquote too expensive. You got to find a way. If it's too expensive and you need more income, you got to go get it. At the end of the day, if you know that the only person you can depend on is you for your financial security when you're in your later years, when you're young, you start preparing when you're younger at 18.
Untaxed. And then I go over to Red Note and I see how the people in China live, and they pay $800 for even law school, and their groceries are cheap and their housing is cheap and they're happy.
And that's nice, right? But I know some of y'all might have heard this phrase before, comparison is the thief of joy. When you compare and you say, hey, the people over there doing this and the people over here doing that, and we getting taxed and blah, blah. And I'm not saying we don't get taxed because I know. I'm saying, are you saying you've never been given any opportunities to advance? Let's just take her out the equation. For 41 years of your life, if you do 41 years of your own life, are you telling me that you at no point had no time where you could advance and you could save any money because we pay taxes?
Okay. That's check out Social Simone. I like her. Thank y'all for sending me that one. That was a good one. I just want you to understand this is what boomers are trying to get you to convince you that they've worked their whole life, Erica. And there was not a day, there was not an opportunity for them to become a manager somewhere, save any money. They had to buy this truck, they had to buy this RV, they had to buy all this stuff, they had to vacation. Again, this is why people really don't like boomers. And boomers are, again, and she's at the end of the Gen X trade. So I'm gonna give her a break. The white lady in the video is 59 years old. 59 is the last boom of Gen X. So Gen Xers right now are 42 to 59 years old, technically, right? And boomers, the second wave of boomers are 60 to 69. First wave boomers are 70 to 79 years old. So when you're talking to adults and they're like, oh my God, I never had you don't understand. I never had a chance to save. I never had any money. I even know older Black people older than them who didn't. They worked in very low paying janitorial jobs, but you go over to their house in the outskirts of the country of Fayetteville, they got a paid off piece of little land. They got a little tiny house out there that they built or they got put out there. Some of them are modular homes, and they got a garden. And they don't even have chickens, but they got a garden. And they know, like, you at some point have to sit down with a pen and piece of paper and like, what does the next 5 to 10 years looks like for me? And a lot of people don't want to face it and they don't want to look at it. And I get that. They don't want to face it. They don't want to look at it. But at the end of the day, this is what's causing the extreme economic pain. Is there's no reflection, there's no accountability, there's no self-reflection. And so then you see these people saying, well, it's hard for men and it's hard for this. And I'm just going to go overseas. And now you're overseas trying to convince some young lady that you don't have no money and you can't take care of her. You can't do that. You got to pick one or the other. If you're going to go overseas, you're going to have to cough up some money. One way or another, whether living overseas, paying apartments, eating food over there, you're going to have to cough up some money. The reason you're going to see a bunch of content creators in their 40s, 50s, and 60s is because I love hearing older people who talk very, progressive or interesting, or they've had a life. I enjoy that. I enjoy talking to older people who, man, I was in the military, I did this, I traveled, I did all that. I always go, damn, I'm not done enough, right? And the comparison is the thief of joy. But whenever I talk to people, I enjoy older people's content who are 5 to 10 years ahead. It gives me just enough insight. I actually go hang out often with people who are a little bit older than me. And what I usually deduct from hanging out with them is either you want to live like them or you don't. 9 times out of 10, I'm like, and that's why you don't do that, right? Or that's why you're stubborn, or that's why your life looks the way it looks. And you're like, man, Erica, you're being harsh. I'm not. I'm 9 times out of 10, when I'm interacting with adults, I'm doing simple deduction math in my head of like, this is how they live because they have no choice. Right? Some of these people didn't have a choice to not get married or not have kids or not do things. It wasn't nobody picking them, and if it wasn't that, it wasn't because, or they just never picked a career or became steady or stable. So no one would want to attach to an unstable person. I see that every day. Unstable people telling you how, they could have did A, B, and C. It's like, okay, well, you're not even stable, bro. I don't trust that. So this is the right-hand side of the chart. We're going to go on the right-hand side of the chart. Again, the bare minimum. We're starting from the bottom to go to the top. Reverse it the other way, right? Savings account, job, a place to stay. This is the bare minimum. People always love telling me how they save $75 a week. And I'm like, good, congrats. Like, I'm not knocking you. I want you to save money. That is a great starting point. And then once you keep saving that money, I want you to look up in 5 years and go, man, I need to put this money somewhere. And hopefully you reach this second level before that. You reach, okay, let me get some bank CDs. So I can get me some 5%. While the interest rates are high, let me get some 5% returns on my money. Let me get some life insurance. So if I die, maybe let me start training for something, right? This is where this is what I hope on this level. This is where the reset happens. When people start deciding to trade for something or go to community college or go back and get some more skills, or I'm tired of working with my hands, or I'm tired of driving the bus, or I'm tired of driving trucks. I'm going to go do something else. This is where the reset happens. You have enough time sitting in that vehicle that they're in, which is just the job, to make a better decision, right? Boom, I'm going to make a better decision. Now we get up to here. This is where most 80% of people will stay. 80-90% of people will be here and they'll stay, right? Yes, there's some people that just barely have a savings account. Yes, there's a ton of unbanked Americans. We know that. That is a lot of economic pain, but they're on this side of the chart. Over here, people that are awake just enough, or what we call the massive middle, are, I got a 401k. I get a money market account from my bank account. I got a high interest dividend stocks, right? I got a house, maybe a paid off car. Everybody's got one old Honda somewhere that they paid off, but they drive a newer car. I got $20K to $50,000 saved, invested, or available. And this is the key to this level. When I talk to people and they say, hey, Eric, I have this business idea I want to start. Where do I find the money? And I'm like, how old are you? Okay, 45, 55. You don't have 20 to 50K saved? That's your next goal. Your goal isn't like, I would love for you to start a business. I'd love for you to buy a rental property. I'd love for you to get into real estate. But guess what you're going to learn? And that's why I'm glad I have a couple different interviews we're doing this week. You guys will get to see. One definitely live Thursday night. How to buy your first rental property and how to do these numbers. Because at the end of the day, you're going to have to fix the credit. You're going to have to put money away. Like, you can get away with some things, but not everything. You can't have no money, a bad job, and bad credit, right? We got to pick a struggle in there, right? Let's just say you have a job that's paying you a ton of money. Great. We can get you over some hurdles. We can buy you land. We can buy some tax deeds, tax liens. We can invest in a thing or two. No problem. But let's say you have no money, you have bad credit, no job, like, you're stacking the deck against yourself. So if somebody says, hey, Eric, I don't have 20K saved, I'd say that's your next goal. Your next goal is to just figure out, how do I save, and this is big numbers, right? We could go big. We can say, if I save $2,000 a month in 10 months, I'll have 2K. Or we can bring it down. If I save $27 a day for a year, I'll have 10K by next year. That's all. Don't go crazy, right? You can get that pull it from your check. You can go Uber, DoorDash, extra, for a few months. You can do several things to get that extra income to put away that 20K. It's up to you at that point. Now, but remember, this is the rule of thumb. You can make a lot of money in a short time versus over a long time. Let's say you say, Erica, I really want to put 20K away. I have this zero-turn lawnmower. I got this trailer. I know so many people that need their yards cut. I could call around and see if I can get, 50 ladies from a church. Can I cut their yards or something? You could. And you could make a bunch of money in the summer. You literally all summer could cut grass. If you're a teacher, if you're a coach, football coach or whatever, you could make money really quickly in a short amount of time versus keeping up the discipline over a long amount of time. And that's where people lose steam, right? If I tell them they're going to save 20K over the next 5 years, they're kind of like, oh man, you know what I mean? That's not exciting to them. That's why when people do the Dave Ramsey plan, on average, the person finishes in 18 months because it's intense to be in that kind of crunch saver mode. That's why I tell you, when you want to have real change, y'all, put 90 days on that thing. Like, hey, in 90 days, we're going to go to the gym every single day. Or in 90 days, we're going to do this every day, right? Because the motion, the not being stagnant is what will charge you up, which will give you the energy, will push you through. When people tell me they have this business idea and they've been tinkering with it for years, I'm like, that's why it's not going anywhere. You're dragging it out for years when you could just really hit it hard this summer. For the next 90 days, I'm talking about this every day. I'm promoting it. I'm running Facebook ads. I'm reaching out to people. I'm growing it. And then you actually get some traction and say, okay, I want to do less of this or less of that. But when you kind of tinker, you kind of putter along, like maybe I'll do a little bit here, a little bit there. That's what makes it so hard for people to keep in business and stay in business. Now, I show you all the time in Digital Liberty Warriors and digital marketing how to kind of drip campaign, your social media so that you can always make money affiliate marketing. But there are ways to kind of tune that up. Even then, those people use, ads twice a week or two video ads a week to kind of, jumpstart or push forward their affiliate marketing businesses. So there's a million things we can go with on that. But as you go up the scale again, as you see them talking about up here, once you hit this conferences and you start saying, I want more than this. I want more than some travel, vacations, and some dividend stocks. I want to get a rental property. Or I want to get or I want to have a service business, a sale business or a service business, right? When you start getting to that level, that's when it's like, oh, a switch happens. It's hard to explain to you, but there's something in the conference, getting around like-minded people who are willing to invest and grow in themselves. That's when the change happens. So you either, when it talks about seal or service business, when I'm talking about having a service business or something you work on the weekends, it starts to go fast. You make a lot of money in a short time versus a long time. You got the rental property. Now your brain is wired differently. Now you can see other rental properties all over the place. Now people come up to you and offer you rental properties. Now you start learning different skills to handle the rental property. Now you start working with the property manager and make sure they're getting stuff done, right? That's how that goes. So franchise can hire others, wife, kids, etc. Multifamily. That's the next level. When someone starts buying franchises and they have kids and family members working for them, and then start buying multifamily, they're buying a mobile home park, they're buying a fourplex, they're buying a duplex, they're starting buying more. That's the next level. Now, the highest level, of course, is up here where you're making millions. You're hiring a family office, you're selling the company to retire. That's a super high level. But it starts down here with the savings account and the job. And somewhere there's a reset where you realize, okay, I need leverage to get up here. The person that's just mindless, that's on zombie mode, that's just partying, buying trucks, buying cars, vacation, bad diets, no vitamins, all of a sudden they get to a point too where they reset. Oh my God, I'm gonna be working till I die. Oh no, right? That's why when I talk to people, they're like, oh, I don't do vitamins. Vitamins are snake oil. It's all fake. I just start laughing because I go, wait till you have a back injury or a knee injury, or wait till you're tired, right? When I start seeing these people saying, I'm so tired, and you start recommending supplements to them, they're resistant, right? Because they're thinking, I eat healthy, Erica. And I'm like, okay, clearly something's not working. That's when you hit that reset button. And that's what happens to a lot of people. When they get through a divorce, they'll hit that reset button. When something bad hits them, they'll get to a reset button. They get in a car accident, they hit a reset button. That's just the nature of life. Now, let me show you these over here real quick, because some people will say, well, Erica, everybody's hurt and everybody's broke, everybody's busted. And I'm like, no, everybody's not busted. That's in America, everybody's struggling. I'm like, again, who are you around? Who are you focusing on? What are you looking at? Now let me show you this right here. This is
in the world. You think Beverly Hills and the Hamptons have big houses? They don't even compare to what you'll see in Potomac, Maryland.
I hate the music. This is Potomac, Maryland. It's right outside the most powerful country in the world. Yeah. Again, what people keep saying, Beverly Hills and all this stuff, I'm like, you do realize we have like mansions all over Maryland, DC area, right? You do realize these people they're wealthy, they're out there, right? These are not all senators, I assure you. These are a lot of business owners for sure, right? Let me show you another one. So another reason when I tell you don't do what everybody else does, this is a, when I talk about skiing, and skiing is very expensive. This is Colorado. This is Colorado on a Saturday. This is Colorado on a Saturday. Look at the traffic. This is Colorado on a Saturday. The people in the car in the video are leaving. These are people on Saturday. No matter how early you get there, you're trying to cram in weekend activities and something that is not let's just hop in the car and go over to the ski resort real quick. That's just not realistic. And the more you try to tell people like to ski, to do boating, to do some of these activities, it will take you taking off some of the middle of the week. If these people were to take off on Wednesday or Thursday, they would not be in this traffic on a Saturday. This thought process that you're going to run and go do a bunch of activity on Saturday, you're living for the weekend. It's not realistic. It's not realistic. The living for the weekend thing is not realistic. If you have to do it for a while, for sure. If you got little kids or something's going on, kids are in school, I get it. But this whole, I'm going to cram it all in on the weekends. It's just not realistic. You get stuck in traffic like this. People are like, I'm going to live in Colorado, and you're going to be in this traffic. Because if you really don't have the money to really be out there skiing, that's what you're going to see. So let me see here. This one as well. No. Where I showed that one, not that one. Hold on. Okay, I see it. Because if you allow people, they'll tell you everybody's poor, right, struggling. This is Boca Raton, Florida.
Communities more.
I hate it. I hate that he picks the worst music. But this is Boca Raton. It has 3 of the most expensive gated communities in the whole United States. Boca Raton, Florida. Again, cop car parked out front. I want you to understand, people with money are not leaving it to chance. They're surrounding themselves with other people who think like them. This is why when I get in these conversations with y'all about about money and about wealth, I feel the resistance. Well, everybody I know does this, Erica. Everybody I know is it. And then when I hear that, I just kind of laugh. I'm gonna show you Ben Mala, and then I'm gonna close it out with a crime story. Ben Mala needs to spend like $100 million to keep the tax thing flowing, right? Again, Ben Mala told you he spends thousands every day, right? So again, here he is in New York. Most people do not want to invest in New York. Why do people invest in New York? I really feel it's taxes. Floyd Mayweather, taxes. And you're going to get paid, but mostly they're getting tax breaks. They're trying to defer taxes. And where can you defer your taxes? In a big, heavy investment in New York. So let me just do this, a little second of this.
Where the top floors are mostly condominiums that are selling for millions of dollars. It was a very high brand. What happened was the guys didn't operate it properly, and they took away the brand. And they put their own name on there, which could survive here in New York too. But we got to really dig into the numbers, because just owning this property, especially being closed, the carrying costs can be tremendous. You got taxes, lease payments, insurance. Now, if you get it open and you make enough money to own the numbers, you got to see how much money can you project coming in and how much money you got going out. This property here, I believe at one time was probably worth at least 200 million. Okay, they owed the bank 120 million. The bank's willing to take 60 right now just to get out of it. So it could be a really good deal. But this is a very intense operating property, okay? Heavy management. You're in New York City. You're over here near the Statue of Liberty. We're in the heart of Wall Street. You're going to be on your top game to play in this field. This is big time stuff. Do we have the money to do it? Yeah, we could raise the money to do it, but is it going to make us money? Because with today's interest rates and the high cost of operating in New York City, you could also lose your shirt. You got city tax, you got state tax, you got federal tax, you got the hotel tax you got to charge and pay, you got sales tax. That's the problem with these states. But it's definitely an interesting opportunity. It's something I've never looked at before in my career, something in this type of location. You know, this is like being on the Las Vegas Strip, but in New York City. Thinking about doing it.
All right. Ben Mala, I enjoy him. He's really showing you, if you pay attention, he's really showing you what's going on. And that's if people are alert. Everybody's not alert. Like, why would Ben Mala do New York? He's from New York. That's ridiculous. That's not going to win. He's all in Florida. He's got all these hotels. It's got to keep the money moving. Once you make a certain amount of money, you just got to keep your capital moving to keep money flowing in. This is what people don't understand. People are very much into the generate money part of their life, and that's nothing wrong with that. But as you get older, that's why a lot of these retirees are like, man, I'm getting older. I want to retire. What capital do they have to generate? Now, if a lot of people have 100K, 300K in their 401k, you know, and they just put in 10%, 15%, high yield dividend stocks, okay, that'd be something, right? Or they take that money and they just go invest in some rental properties and go sit down. That could be something. A lot of people don't understand. Ben Mala, at that level, you're moving capital because you have to move it around. You got to keep it moving. And this is how I'm going to end the show with, I don't know if you guys ever seen the page Baller Busters. They're hilarious to me. They get kicked off all the time, but they come right back, and I love that for them because they, you know, they're just doing a service. So as the tide comes out in our economy, there is a lot of people who things are happening. Point blank period. Things are happening. You're going to see it. They're going to document it. Lawsuits, all kind of stuff is going down. It is. It's going down. People aren't ready. It's going down. Right? So people from watch stealing, all kind of goofy stuff. So let's just go over here. I'm going to play this for you. And these are two brothers from the Netherlands. I always make jokes about Nigerians and Africans. Essentially, their mother is from the Netherlands. Their father was an African in Netherlands, which is Amsterdam, Netherlands. And he got deported. They, you know, when they were little kids, they ain't seen them till they were adults. And unfortunately, you know, you could be smart. You got to be real smart. You can't get caught up here. You can't be in Dubai with drugs and how about that? Let me just say that. Let me play this part. Let me just get over it.
We have a Baller Busters exclusive news report involving brothers Samuel and Ruben Unwa from Icon e-commerce brand, a men's fashion brand out of the Netherlands. These brothers who have flexed their lavish lifestyle, Rolls Royces, private jets, and tons of money and girls were just arrested in Dubai at their home. These brothers who flexed their wealth online were arrested based off of tips by escorts who were left unpaid. These escorts attended a party at their home in February of this year. When they weren't paid for services rendered, what they did was tip off the police. Brothers were arrested, but because they are foreign nationals, they may get off the hook for the death penalty, but they are still facing decades in prison. We have a Baller Busters.
All right. So Dubai does not play about drugs. Now you can say, well, Erica, they just got caught with party drugs. No, they got caught with more than party drugs, y'all. They actually got caught with like a ton of drugs. Spencer Cornelius did a video on it. I'm going to show you their Instagram a little bit. And I just want you to understand, you can make a lot of money in a short period of time. You can make a lot of money. Once you know what to do with it, that's the key, right? You can be promoting e-commerce. You could be promoting all kind of stuff. What do you do with the money? Because if I give, you know, there's this thing, this guy, everybody hates it when this guy said it. He's like, but if I give a homeless person $1 million, they'll be back where they were in 6 months. And people are like, no, Erica, that's not true. And it actually is, because the heart and the mind didn't change. There wasn't an in motion thing, right? So this is the older brother, Samuel. Well, Samuel's the younger one, my bad. And, you know, to me, they just have that mixed, you know, they African, clearly the jaw lines are strong, you know. They're showing them in the planes, you know. That's them as babies. Let me see if they got any of them talking. They have realistic accents here. Let me see. When you come home to nope, that ain't it. But yeah, you see, you know, you got to be smart. All these things are rentable. All these things are leasable. They were making a lot of money in their core sales and e-com stuff. They have a whole office in the Netherlands. They have a lot of staff. You know, I think it'll eventually would come out that they were forced to do some of this activity. Yeah, this is their office in the Netherlands right here. You know, you can go check it out at your own time. I'm gonna say that. If you go, let me see if Spencer, I still have the Spencer video. I do. Hold on, let me see. Let me show you this, and then we're gonna get on out of here because we got a show later today. There you go.
What not to do. After finding this Baller Busters post about their arrests, I decided to finally make a video that you have been requesting. Samuel and Ruben Anuha are pretty influential entrepreneurs from the Netherlands. Their videos on YouTube vlogging their expensive lifestyle regularly get hundreds of thousands of views. Their Instagrams receive a lot of attention as well, with hundreds of thousands of followers and a lifestyle to match. Their claim to wealth and fame is through their fashion brand Icon.
Yeah, Icon has changed my life, right? Icon is the reason that you see my lifestyle right now going so crazy. This year we will hit 30 million in fucking revenue.
While there's no way to fact check a private company's financial statements without inside access, based on some of the media they've posted, it's safe to assume the company generates real revenue. The Icon fashion brand isn't necessarily tied to the Anuha brothers' social media, but there's no doubt that their content strategy leads to more.
Okay, let's have a moment. Let's have someone. I've told y'all this multiple times. There's a lot of these fitness YouTubers. They're selling 40, 50, 60 million dollars in shorts and t-shirts and knee sleeves and fitness and supplements. There's money out here. There's money out here. And you can make a lot of money in a short amount of time. But you got to be careful because now everybody's like, everybody's a scam. Everything's a scam. This is why when people say, Erica, everybody's hurting, financial pain, I just go, what's going on with your skills? It's a skill issue. Nobody wants to say that out loud. It's a skill issue. You could be in any small town, but if you know how to fix things, you know how to build things, you're still going to be paid. Point babe here. Let me see if I can skip ahead again. A little bit here.
And making $1 million in one day. With over 1.5 million views in those 3 videos alone, even a small conversion rate into their Icon brand products would lead to a significant sales number. They get attention using the tried and true formula of flashing desirable materialistic items and ridiculously expensive vacations.
I've been here for 3 weeks. It cost 80,000 for 3 weeks. So yeah, about 100K a month for this thing.
I know some of you despise this content strategy, but it works. Using signs of success to get attention and influence people into buying your products from that attention works. Whether the expensive purchases are for them or only for content doesn't really matter. Everything is marketing. The more attention, the more money. This flashy lifestyle is why I believe many of you commented that I should do a video about them. They appear to have a very profitable fashion brand Icon, but they also ventured out into coaching and mentoring.
3 months, we always guarantee that you go to at least 100,000 in revenue, at least.
My guess is this venture generates a lot of revenue for them.
I also have, for example, an agency that is like really spinning.
Okay. Y'all can go watch that on your own time. You can go watch that on your own time. I don't want to bore you to death. Long story short, you know, some of the numbers, the Dubai stuff, it wasn't 70K a month. It's 40K a month for the place he stays at. Long story short, there's a very famous drug gang. That's why I didn't want to finish the video. You can watch that on your own time. It's very short. That they might be tied to. And they should be careful, right? I've never been in a gang. I don't know nothing about gangs. I'm just saying, if the gang is wanting you to pick up ladies from Colombia at the Dubai airport, you better pay them ladies because them ladies are on their way traveling to Amsterdam with drugs. With the drugs. They had the person that busted them was a DJ. Now they should have known, man, this DJ ain't that good because the DJ was a cop. But anyway, at the end of the day, y'all, it's a lot of silliness out here, but it's also a lot of abundance. It's a lot of wealth out here. It's a lot of people buying products and businesses and services and buying clothes. Anything you want to sell, you can sell. If you want a better life for you and your family, you can have it. I know the selling point is economic pain. Everybody can't afford eggs. Nobody can afford gas. But let's ask the question, why? Why are you driving trucks and SUVs unless it's related to your work? Well, I just want to drive a truck, Erica, and that's fine. You're free to do it. Make sure you got the money to pay for it. I just want to drive a Porsche SUV. Okay. All these things I'm okay with you owning and having, but you must be able to pay for them. And at the cost of what people are saying is, I'd rather have a nice car than retirement. I'd rather have a nice vehicle than some money put away. And it will always come back to bite you. But guess what? You can always switch. You can always regenerate. You can always reset. You can always start over. You can always do new things. You can always pivot. You can turn. You can do so many things. Do not let the next 4 years pass you by where you have not decided that you want more and you want better for yourself. It's just that time, y'all. So listen, I hope you guys join us for the interview later today on Thursday. If not, oh well, hey, I missed you. But definitely the channel is pivoting and changing. And I'm so glad that you guys have been on this 10-year journey with me. The book release is coming out pretty soon here. We're working out all the kinks of everything behind the scenes and getting stuff ready. And we're starting on a lot of podcast interviews. So this is your girl, Erica, Classic Clown Blog. Thank you guys so much for your time, your energy, your love, your passion. I appreciate all the comments. If you've enjoyed this video, drop a 1 in the comments. And if you've enjoyed this video, say what's up. All right, you guys. It's your girl, Erica. Later.
This is David W. Williams, and I'm giving a testimony to Erica Williams and her team. Because of the advertising relationship that we were able to develop, my company had the best month in the month of November for the whole year of 2024. And I'm talking about our sales were 3 or 4 times any other month during that particular year. And I know it's because of the relationship that I had with Erica and how she worked with me as an advertising partner. So now here's the benefit of working with her and her team. She's going to communicate to you what you're going to get as a result of working with her. She's going to over deliver on her value that she's providing, right? And she's not going to do a one-off deal. She's going to really invest in your success because she's really invested in making sure that you're going to get a success story from working with her as an advertising partner. So if you're looking to drive more sales, you're looking to bring in more leads, and you're also looking to get more exposure to what you're doing, you want to reach out to Erica and ask her, can I advertise with you?